screen. Yan. So go to your browser and go to kaggle.com. Okay, I hope you can see that. Kaggle.com. What is that? www.kaggle.com. So now I'm gonna introduce to you the best website for understanding machine learning. Okay, it's called Kaggle.com. Okay, so first thing first, of course, this is your first time to go this, so please register. Okay, please register, and then you would be asked to register. I would suggest with Google so that it's easier, but it depends on you, of course, if whatever you want. And then the weird part with Kaggle is that he would ask you for a phone number immediately, okay, to sign up. Okay, so please register, and then if you're already done, let me know immediately. I'm going to show it to you. This is already a browser-based uh, coding, so it's okay. Um, so let me know if you're done. Again, Chin, in case you haven't heard, as mentioned with Juliana, last time, I hope you're already doing the what do you call it, demonstration. So adding some filler words. Again, Chin, as I mentioned to Juliana, last time what we've done is reading. Okay, the thing with reading is that although it's good not to see the whole flow no from start to finish, the problem there is that um it seems it is so difficult to absorb everything. It seems, oh god, so parang so many, so complicated, so many things to learn la, I can't understand anything. So uh the goal for this session is that what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do live coding. No, we're gonna start machine learning from start to finish. So hopefully we can finish everything by today. If not, we're gonna continue it on Thursday. Okay, but the whole point here is that we can already show you from scratch, no, on how it really starts, no. So and again, if you're already registered, please let me know. You should see the screen, no?
Mm-mm.
Done. You're done, Julian. You would need to enter your what do you call that? Your uh, yeah. Okay na? Done. No, not yet.
I'm done.
Wow, it's already activated. You already encoded your mobile phone. No, not yet. Not sure. Yes. No. Yes.
Um,
Yes. No. You're able to encode your uh, mobile phone. Okay. Um, uh, Gabe, so if you're done, how about Shane? How about you? How are you? Shane, how about you? Are you still okay? Okay. Chin, Chin. Are you still there? Chin. Oh, no more Chin. Okay. So, Juliana, no Chin pala. Okay. Maybe she's having. Okay. So now you're done. The next thing we're gonna do now is let's go to compete. It's gonna take a while because of my internet, but we go to competition, and then go to Titanic, machine learning from disaster. Okay, so I hope you can see that. Can you see it? We would have a different screen, no? Pero it looks the same. I hope. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good. And then I think you would see here is join competition, right?
Uh-uh.
Okay. So now, okay. So what we're gonna do now is the Titanic Dataset. Okay. So have you watched the movie Titanic?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good. So this is what we're gonna do, no? It's the same homework as before. Okay. The difference is that the idea here is that again, it's the Titanic ML competition. If you remember my homework before, it's also Titanic. It actually came from here. The data
Oh.
the data set came here. Okay. So basically your goal now is that remember there would be a shipwreck. So now that we would have a shipwreck, you're already hired as a data scientist, no? You would be asked, no, what is the reason? Can you predict to me which of them would have highest probability of survival? Huh? Do you remember that homework? Okay, and do you remember that homework? Okay, so our goal now is that ayan, so let's try to, oh wow, there's already a video. This is not before, there's no video. And let's check. Uh, Oh, yan no, Juliano. Let's check. I think,
Hello.
okay. So anyway, so you can watch that video later on. But the goal of this challenge is ayan, the sinking of the Titanic is one of the most infamous shipwreck. On 1912, during her maiden voyage, the unsinkable RMS sank after colliding with an iceberg. Unfortunately, there weren't enough lifeboats for everyone on board, resulting in 1,500 12 and 2 out of 2,224 passengers and crew. While there were some elements of luck in surviving, it seems some groups of people were more likely to survive than others. Okay, so in this challenge, ayun na, Chin is alive again. Okay. Hi, Chin. Um, how was it? Were you able to register?
I'm still registering now, sir.
Ha? Umabot ka?
I'm still registering now.
Okay,
Yes
okay.
po, yes po.
Okay, okay. Just let me know, no? Um, let me know if you're already registered. So the challenge now is that, well, there are some element of luck in surviving. It seems some groups of people were more likely to survive than others. Okay, so in this challenge, we ask you to build a predictive model that answers the question: what sorts of people were more likely to survive? Ayan. Okay, so that is the first thing we want to do now. Again, ayan. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened, but I got lost. Anyway, um, where am I? So, ayan. So, sorry. Okay, so with that, here is the challenge. So what we're gonna do now is you click the join competition. Okay, so after clicking the join competition, China, let me know if you're already you're able to register now, so I can let you join also. Okay, and then after that, what we're usually doing after so. Juliana, take note. Our question is, what sorts of people were more likely to survive? That's the question that we need to answer. Okay, so what we need to do, click the join competition, and then what we usually do is this, no? After reading the description of the competition, is we need to understand now what's the goal of the project. Okay, so your job is to predict if a passenger survived the sinking of the Titanic or not. Yan. Okay, so do you remember um, do you remember, diba? We have a train set and test set, okay? So in this case, for the test set, you must predict if it's a 0 or 1, okay? That's the idea, okay? And the score is, we're gonna do now is metric of the score of how right are you is we're gonna use something called accuracy. Ayan. I hope this is something you're familiar with. Okay, and the next thing we want to check is that after looking at the evaluation, usually we go straight to, okay, let's check muna again, what is the goal of the competition? Okay, Juliana and Jean, I'm not sure with Jean if you can follow along na. You can follow along.
Oh.
Uh, no. Juliana, what is the goal of the competition of the project?
Yeah, it's a job to protect if a passenger survive
Yeah.
the sinking of the Titanic or not.
Okay, good. Um, Now, what is the meaning of survive? No, as you would notice in the survive, no, for each test set, you must predict a value of 0 or 1 for the variable. Okay, so the thing that they didn't mention properly is that what is the meaning of survive? Okay, in terms of survival, it's actually here in the submission. It's actually on the column called survive. Okay. Now, how would you, ayan, it's already mentioned pa, how would you know if the person survived or not? If it survived, it is actually 1. And then if it died already, if you think that he would die, it's 0. Okay? Okay. Chin, are you okay?
Okay.
Were you able to register? No? Yes? Yes, no? Okay. So just let me know, Chin, if you're ready, okay? Um, and then now, I hope, Juliana, you're able now to click the join competition. Okay? Okay. The next thing we want to do usually is to look at the data. Okay? And okay, so basically, you'll be provided, oh my God, that's so mouthful, no? So mouthful. What's happening? And now, usually, I would scroll down and then look at the how many data what is going to be providing to me, no? And basically I would be provided 3 things, no? Train.csv, test.csv, and gender submission. Okay. So
Mm.
after doing that, So about this file, oh, this is beautiful. This competition is beautiful. This is good for beginners. That is why they have a beautiful description. So let's try to understand now the three data that they provided. I think the easiest is the gender submission. Although I think this is more familiar with you. Ayan, train.csv. It says contains data. Okay, test.csv. Test data to check the accuracy of the model created. And then this one, an example of what submission file should look like. Okay, so just to elaborate a little bit, this one, train.csv, I hope you can remember it from your homework. Okay, usually when we're doing for Kaggle, they already split the data for you. If you remember in our last week discussion, in case you're not confused, there's a train test split, diba? But in Kaggle, they did the splitting of data for you. Okay, so you don't have to split the data into train and test. So they already split the data to train and then test. Okay, so remember in our discussion of the overview, the test set is the one you're gonna use. I know the test set, you must predict a 0 or 1 value. Okay, so one thing that you would notice is that, okay, um, and then so that's train and test. Okay, so if you try to look at this, the low one that is below, this is how the table of train.csv looks like. So it shows to you the table like an Excel file, no? It shows you, okay, passenger ID, survive, P class, name, sex, age, sip, PRs, ticket, fare, cabin, and embark. Okay, it's challenging, no? What is this columns, no? Those columns, in order for you to understand it, you always refer back to this data description. Okay, what you usually do now? Are you still following? Are you still with me? Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Chin.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Juliana. How about Chin? Chin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you able to register?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to register na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you already in this web
Yes
page?
po. Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you. So just okay. So so let's try to look at this data dictionary. Now, one thing that you would notice, he refers to it as variable. Okay. So in when you're doing machine learning or in a table, a column is also known as variable. Believe it or not. Magic. Okay, so a column is also named as variable. It's the same thing. Believe me or not, it is the same thing. Okay, so that's what he mentions as variable, no? And then a data dictionary simply refers to a description of each column. For example, the easiest one is passenger ID, survive, name, sex. So let's check, no? What is it? What what is the meaning of that? So for example, ayan, the variable survival means survival. P class is the ticket class. Oh, interesting, no? Sex is, of course, the sex. So it's male or female. We're assuming age near, sibling. So this is how you can refer on each variable. So that's the whole point. No? So for example, P class. No? P class, if you think about, I don't understand it, but due to the data dictionary, you would, oh, ticket class. So it's first class, second class, third class. So if you're like going to airport, diba, there's like an economy class, business class, first class. It's the same thing, no? When in during shift, no? There's a first class, so this is like the first class in airport, airplane. This one is like a business class. This is the economy class, no? So that's the same idea. Oh, and one more thing, they have a lot of discussion. So one thing that you would notice, this data section, you can always refer back to it when you are doing your notebook. Okay, so now let's start. Let's start. Woo! So I hope you're able to join the competition. Let's now go to the third page. No, here is the most interesting. No, so this one here, just to show you, there's a lot. No, but the whole point of Kaggle kasi is that whenever you're doing data science or any machine learning projects, they promote the idea that let's collaborate. No, let's help each other understand the data set. So that's why they believe in a community-based understanding of the data set. So that's the idea of Kaggle. That's why it's fascinating to learn a lot in this website. Anyway, just click the new notebook and we're starting. Okay, by the way, ayan. When you see now, I hope you can see we're now on the same page. Yes, yes, yes. And click Python. Make sure it's Python not R. And then we're going to do the notebook. Okay. And then do you have to do something about this? That's okay. Just click create. Okay na? Okay na? Okay? Okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. So now I'm preparing my notebook. Let's wait for a little bit. So one thing that you would notice is that now the data dictionary is lost, no? So that's kind of challenging, no? So while waiting for that one, I'm gonna open again Kaggle because again, as mentioned, whenever especially you're just starting from a competition or from a new data, you'd always refer back to the meaning of each column or each variable. So it's very handy that if you can go back to that dictionary all the time, no, it's hard to understand it from the name of the column itself. Ayan. So I'm on my new web page. I'm opening back again the Titanic machine learning disaster. I always refer back to this second page, no? So very important that you have this data dictionary because it helps you really understand the data, no? Okay. Okay, so if you open your kernel, are we now on the same page? Let me know. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So now let's show some magic, no? So if you open your kernel, you would have this one. Let's try to, and you would see some Python codes, no? First thing you would notice, I hope you can remember this, you already imported the NumPy, the pandas. Now this is kind of weird, no? At first you might not understand it. Let's just try to run it, you know? Let's check, no? It seems it's not me who wrote it. Oh, magic, no? So basically what it shows you, ayun na pala. Any results you write or save as output. Okay, so one thing that you would notice is this, no? This is this directories. You understand directory? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so if you don't
Yes,
understand,
sir.
okay, when you say okay, so this directory here shows you the data set, no? It already shows you the path to your file, to your data set. Remember, in the data, they told you that you would be provided 3 files, and magically it's here. Okay, now, so now, take note, what we're now seeing now is the Jupyter Lab or Jupyter Notebook of Kaggle, and it's running on browser. Magic. Okay, so so it's also the same thing as collaboratory. It's just that you're not running it on your it's run also on browser. The good thing about Kaggle is that the data set is already here. Now to showcase, you don't have to upload it. To showcase where is that the data is already there. Ayan. If you click this arrow button on your upper right, you would see the input and then you see the Titanic. Ayan, the data CSV files is already with you. Oh, di ba? Magic. Okay, so that's the advantage of using Kaggle kernel. Okay, so now let's try. The first thing we want to do, of course, is let's check. No, again, the first thing you want to do is how would I run the competition? Okay, so the easiest way is to understand this example. Okay, for me personally, I like doing it on a example by example basis. So, and then as mentioned here in this page, no, this gender submission that CSV showcase to you how you would want to submit, no, to submit your prediction. Okay, so again, your goal, again, let's check now. What's the goal of the competition? Anyone? Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes. What's the goal of the competition again?
Um, wait lang. Ano ba? To see Wait lang.
It's here, it's here, it's here. Overview, evaluation.
Predict if a passenger survived.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Very good. Thank you. So predict if a passenger survive or not. Okay. So let's check, no? How does it look like, no, on submitting the output, no? Submitting how to predict. And it's already given by this example. Okay. So for first thing we want to do is try to open this generated submission. Okay. So how do you do that? Again, it's simple. CSV file, of course, we can read it using pandas.csv. Okay. Okay. And then let's try to put this whole directory. So let's just copy and paste it. And thus, ayan. So now you already open the CSV onto, from a CSV file, you are now able to convert it into data frame. Okay. So in order for us to really manipulate it, so we're going to encode it on a variable. And this is how we're going to store it in a variable, remember? Okay, and from here on, we can also do the same thing. Submission dot df dot head. Ayan. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. So let's try to analyze this output. No. So this is the result that that they want to do. So apparently, it's really simple. No. The end output of this competition is basically you would need the passenger ID and it's corresponding whether they survive or not. Okay? It's simple, right? It's simple. That's the only thing that you need to do. Okay, so for each passenger with a corresponding passenger ID, di ba? Predict whether it is 0 or 1. Okay? So again, one thing you would notice, you would need a survived column. Okay? So again, 0 means they died. 1 is you're predicting they're gonna survive. Okay, but one question that you wanna ask again is this, no? Where do I get the passenger ID? Is it something that I just need to create on my own, or where do I get it? Can anyone tell me? Do you remember? Where would I get it? Where would I get the passenger ID, or where did it come from? Anyone? Can someone remember? It's actually on the evaluation. Okay. Any guess?
Isn't it part of the dataset na, sir?
Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, good. It's part of the data set. Okay, but that's correct, no? It's data set. But which data set? Is it train, test, or both? Yeah. Is it train, test, or both? Yeah. What's your guess? Yeah.
Both?
Both? Okay. Interesting guess. Okay. How about Juliana? Juliana lah. Still alive ba, Juliana?
Hi. Guess what?
What do you guess? Where would I get the passenger ID? Where did it come from? Is it from, as mentioned by Chin, no? It came from the data. But that's correct, it's data. But you have two types of data. It's from the train and test. So my question is, where did it come from? The passenger ID, is it came from test, train, or both?
Train.
Train. Okay, so let's check now. Chin mentioned it's both, and then Juliana mentioned it's from train. Okay, so with that, the next thing we want to do is try to study it. No, thankfully, Kaggle tries to visualize already the Excel file for you or the CS file for you. So first thing that you might be able to observe test.csv only has 11 columns. Train.csv is only has 12 columns. So they have a different number of columns. That's weird, no? But let's try, if we try to check it, and then although I'm not sure if you notice it, one thing that you would notice again is that for each okay, so maybe you didn't notice it, so let's not try to notice it. Okay, so the thing is, if you try to scroll the train.csv, ayan, passenger ID, survive, p-class, name, sex, and if you try to look at it, passenger ID, p-class, name, sex, it's almost the same. It's almost the same columns. You know, the last two columns is fare and cabin. For the train.csv, the last two columns is fare, cabin, embark. Oh, is it the embark that is not in the test.csv? Oh, it's also here. Oh my God. So what is the column that is not in test.csv, but it's which column is in the train.csv but is not in test.csv? What is that one column, no? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Who can see it? Who can see it? So what's the difference, no?
P-class?
P
P-class, sir?
class. P class, no? So good guess. Kasi let's check. Test.csv. Oh, it has a P class. And then train.csv. Oh, it also has P class. So good guess. Good guess. What is missing on test.csv, but there is what is missing in test.csv, but we have that column in train? What is the missing column? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it?
Survive.
Survive! Congratulations! Okay, congratulations. Okay, that's correct, no? In the train.csv, you have the survive column. In test, you don't have the survive column. Okay, that's good. Awesome. Okay, you know why? Why there's no survive column? Because let's go back again to the overview evaluation. Because for each test set, you must predict a 0 or 1 value for the variable. And the reason, therefore, the reason why you don't have the survive column in test.csv, because you're the one who's gonna generate the survive column. Okay? Okay? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And thus, if we go back to the previous question, no, where do you get the passenger ID? It would come from, it's here. It's from test.csv.
Wait. Test. Test.
Test. Okay. It's from the test.csv. Okay. So basically, the whole point of what you're gonna do is that um, uh, you're gonna create a model via train.csv, and then you're gonna test it on the test.csv such that you can generate a survive column so that you can create a format that looks like this such that you can submit it as your model. You get it? You get it? Okay, so let's try to write that down, okay, in case you're not able to get it. Number one, basically what you need to do is create a model using the data from train.csv. Okay, the next thing you want to do is that after training or after creating a model, uh, the next thing you want to do is evaluate your model by predicting the or predicting the survive column, or if not, if you don't like word the predicting, it's generating the survive column, no? Evaluate your model by generating the survive column using the data of test.csv.
Test.
Okay.
Yes.
And after that is that using the passenger ID and the generated survive column, diba? You use that one to use the passenger ID and the generated survive column to submit your prediction for the competition. Ayan. So that's what we're gonna do, no? Get it? Get it? Question? Question? Question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay, let's start. Um, so now, the first thing you want to do again is to create a model from the train.csv. Of course, the first thing we want to do is, of course, diba, is to read the data from train.csv. Okay, so how do you do that? Okay, in case that, of course, please try to follow along. No, I would prefer that you would follow along. In case that you want to know, and in order for me to write this one, that's called a markdown. Okay, and if you want to write a code, it's called code. No, so you know that you're in a code cell if you see a square bracket on your left side. Okay, and you know that it is a text if you don't see anything at all. Okay, so let's try to create a code now. It's let's try to read the CSV, the train.csv. How do you do that? Is to use the pandas read.csv. Okay, and where's the link? Okay, again, I would get it from the top. Okay. Okay, and then let's call that one as X. Is that a good? Yeah, that's good. X. Okay, so let's check, no? One thing you notice now, yan. So now we can see now the whole data frame is the same thing as what we're seeing now in terms of what we see in this visualization of Kaggle. You can get the whole thing now. Okay? Questions? Questions? And then you know that you've got it right because you notice you have 191 rows and 12 columns, no? And if you notice what they did, ayan, they have 12 columns. They just didn't mention how many rows. No? Pero we're hoping it's correct. It looks correct so you can get the 12 columns. Okay na? Questions? Questions? Are you can you follow along? Can you follow along? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. So let's continue. So now now that we're able to read it, the next thing we want to ask ourselves is, okay, how do I know which one survived? How do I create a model such that, how do I create a model, no? So that it can predict the survival. The first thing we want to do is, again, ask the question, which of these columns, or now we're going to refer it as variables, which of these variables has a great relationship or a great survival, a great relationship, a correlation with the survival of their survival. Okay, so I would guess it would be diba? In the movie, if you remember the movie, he would say, okay,
The sex.
diba? The sex. Okay, so let's check, no? How would I know that it has a strong relationship with the sex with survive? Of course, we're gonna try to check the best way to do it is, of course, let's try to get it. So sex and then survive. Ayan. Survive. Ayan. So now that I was able to get it, so now this is the two columns. What I would do, and this is magic, no? This is called group by. I'm not sure if you can remember this. Group by sex.
I remember, sir.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you. I'm flattered. Okay, very good. No? At least you can remember it. Okay. So now you would notice now that this one tells you that the female has 300, they have 314 that survive. Does it sound correct? No, does it look correct? This is more of, let's try to get the passenger ID to showcase it. You might not notice it, so I'm gonna add the passenger ID. Yan. So actually, it's not the number of people who survive, no? And this is the number. It's actually just a count of how many females are in the data set and how many males are in the data set. Okay? Yes? Yes, yes, yes. So again,
Yes, sir.
okay, so this is just getting the count. Getting the count of passengers, of number of males and females. Okay, so now let's check how would you know, no, how many survive or not. Okay, so it's really simple. Okay, how? Well, the easiest way is to remember that when you survive, what is your number? Is it 0 or 1?
1.
1. Okay, and if it's 0 means you died. Okay, so the easiest way to know if a person survived or not is, in this case, the female, is try to use the sum. Ayan. So if you get the sum, no, again, oh, sorry, let's use the another cell, no, to showcase it. If you try to use the sum, no, one thing, ayan, this is the count. Okay, so how do you run it? Is just shift enter or just click this one. Okay, and then this is the sum. Okay, again, if you have questions, just let me know immediately. Okay, again, one thing that you would notice, again, this is the count, the number of females, and then this is the number of males. But now if you try to look at the sum, recall that a 1 means survive, 0 means they died. So if you take the sum of ones and zeros, what you would get is the number who survived. Kasi 1 plus 0 is 1, di ba? So you disregard all all who died because there is 0. So if you take the sum of 1 and 0, you would get therefore the number of survive. Okay? Same thing with the males. Okay? So thus, this is the number of females who survived, and then the number of females, the total number of females. This one, I'm highlighting it now. The number of males, which is 109, who survived. And then let's look at the table on top. This is the total number of males. Okay? Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if it's a yes, okay. So one thing that you would notice now, just by observing these two tables, is that the number of females who survive is 233, and then the total number of females is 314, and then the number of males at the bottom is 108 who survive. But the total number of females 577. No? So it seems that there is something that's happening here. No, it seems that the percent number of females who survive is greater than the percent of males who didn't survive. So how do you know? No, the easiest way, again, this is a shortcut because survive is 0 and 1. the easiest way is to use something called mean. Mean, what is mean? It's average. Okay? Again, what is average? It's just taking the sum divided by the total. So sum divided by total, so you get the mean. So it's just saying as, again, it's simple as the mean. Again, in case you didn't understand it, it's simply 233, no? Divided by 314. Ayan, you get the same. Oh, it's not the same thing. I'm so sorry. Because I forgot there's a anyway, it's almost the same. Let's not discuss it. Uh, that's additional nuance for today, so it was okay. Almost the same. Okay. Yeah. Questions. So now you would notice, given this one, you can say that the mean, so 0.74. Thus, you notice now that the female has 74% survival and male has only 18% survival. And thus, female has a better survival than the male. Oh, okay. So it means it's just one thing, no? Just by using a male, the gender or the sex as a variable, I think I have a good predictor of success, whether you're gonna survive or not. So if I'm gonna go back to the Titanic, I think now I can infer that if I go and blindfolded and check you one by one, I would just ask you the question, are you male or female? And if you mention me female, I would tell you you're likely to survive. Right? Yes? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's what it means, not to see this probability. Okay, so now that we can create a probability, so let's try to write that down. I believe it seems just by observing the the rate of survival of of female versus male, we infer that sex is of a good predictor of your survival. Ayan. So with this in mind, no, now that we can have this, we can mm, have this predictor. What can we do, no? So, well, now that you know that one, the easiest way is actually now that you know that it is survive, okay, let's try to finish this whole thing, no? How can you finish it? Okay, really simple. um, the easiest way is to read the test.csv. Okay, okay, so read the test.csv, no? So read csv and then try to get the Kaggle input Titanic test.csv. Okay, and that's it. And let's call it what I call that and dito. X test, no? X test. Okay. Ayan. So let's try to look at how it is shown right now. Ayan. So now you have this one. So now, how do I know whether you're gonna survive or not? No, the easiest way is to check the sex. And that's it. That's my model. No, based on this, how I've seen it, the easiest model is to check the sex. So how would I check the sex? No, so the easiest way. So for example, X test. Okay, if sex is equal to female, okay, let's check, no? Oops. Oops, sorry. Mali. Ayan. 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 So, yan. True, false, no? So, I'm checking if it's a female or not. If it's a female, as you notice, it would show up as true. If it's not female, it will show up as false. Okay? So, this is a pandas way to do it, no? And then, if I try to write down X test again and put it surrounded by another X test, what you would notice now is this, I would only be able to get the male or female, or I would only get the females, no? Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna show you some magic, no? What is this magic? If you want to create a column, again, the column that we want to create is something called survive, no? So I'm gonna try to uh, write down survive, but I'm just gonna copy and paste it so that I know that I don't have to, I won't mistype it. And now, the first thing you would notice now is that first I wrote down the logic earlier, and then I put a comma, and I put a survive. Okay, what does it mean, no? What I'm telling here is that this is the records. This is the record that I want. What is the record? All of this, no? All the record that are true. So ayan. Basically what I'm saying here is that all females, okay? All the records of the female, and the meaning of record is rows, no? All the rows that are female, again, this is row, comma, column. Again, I repeat, row, comma, column. Okay, so all the rows that are female, okay, that's what you're seeing now. Now, I want their column called survive to be equal to true or equal to 1. Okay, so let's try it out. Series objects are mutable, thus they cannot be hashed. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, let's try it out. So what does that error mean, no? I also don't know, but it seems that this is a bad way to do it. So let's try it again, no? Let's try a different way to create a new column. So how do you create a new column? Maybe the first thing what I need to do first is to create a column, no? Survive. Okay, and then let's put it as 0. Ayan. So let's try that. Ha! Ayan. So what happened, no? So let's check. Now I was able to generate a new column called survive. Earlier, there was an error. Now I can tell it to you because there is no column called survive. That's the problem. Now, what I did now is that I created first a column called survive. And after creating that column, I initialize the whole column by 0. So the whole thing is 0, regardless of the gender, no? I didn't do anything. The whole column is 0. Any questions from you?
None, sir.
Okay. So after doing that, again, take note that I'm using the same variable, huh? I'm saying using the same variable. And one thing that you notice now, although it looks on the top, no, that there is no survive column, but after this cell, after running this cell, how do you run it? Again, shift enter or clicking this one. Now you would notice I have that column. Thus, if I run this one again, I have that survive column already. Okay, so let's check, no? You would see there's no more error. Oh, there's still an error. That's so sad. Series object, thus they cannot be hashed. Okay, so ayaw mo sa akin. Sige. How can we fix this, no?
Sir, question.
Yes po.
Yung yung equals 1, why is it outside the bracket?
This one.
Why not put it inside survived equals 1?
Do you mean this one? Ganyan? Ganyan?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
because
I joke lang.
I'm gonna try something different. Maybe it's called. Okay, so I'm gonna make it more complicated. But I think this is better. But sige, I'm gonna use something called. Why is it not working? I thought it's working. Let's check. I think I need to use something called. Ah, okay. Dot lock. Let's check if it's gonna work. Um, huh, huh, magic. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's it. Uh, let's check na. Ayan. Okay, okay, okay. Questions? So that's the error. Questions? Question?
Sir, the
Yeah.
loc, you, you, you just added dot loc.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
What does loc mean again, sir?
Um, lock is the correct way, no? This one is the shortcut. Okay. When we refer to okay, so when we refer, for example, to survive, no, what you're actually mentioning here is you know, so when we, for example, we're trying to refer to the column called survive, what you're actually referring to is dot lock all rows and all rows, and then sige, let's put that one. All rows and the survive column. It's the same thing, no? Um, so thus, whenever we're doing this type, that's actually lock. And lock means locate. Yan. So it's just, we're not trying to do it, but inherently we're doing it. So lock means locate. Locate, this is row, this is column. Ayan. You get it? So for example, let's try to read this code, no? Dot lock, what you're saying is that this is row, again, this is column. Okay, so you're referring to is dot lock all the rows that has a female in the sex column. That's what you want, comma, on the column called survive, I want them to be equal to 1. So you're assigning 1 to all rows that are female in the sex column, and this one, it would be stored on the column called survive. Okay? Yes? Yes, 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 yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Gets, sir.
Gets na. Okay, so now how do you create similar to us? Now let's try to submit this one. Yeah, we're done, no? We're done. So let's try to submit, no? How do you submit, no? First thing first, you need to make it in such a way that it looks like the same thing as passenger ID and survive. Okay, so first things first, no? Maybe what we can do now is first let's use again this one, get the column called passenger ID, and then get the survive column. Okay, oops, I think that's not correct. I need another square bracket. It should be 2 square brackets. Ayan. Let's check. Oh, ayan, it's correct. Okay, now after doing that, what we're gonna do is that based on the Kaggle, I'm not sure, I wasn't able to discuss it, but basically what we need to do is I think it was mentioned here, no? It was not explicit, we didn't explicitly mention it, but basically it's here. Any results you write to the current directory are saved as output. Okay, so basically what we simply need to do is that xtest to CSV. Okay, and let's call this one submission.csv. Okay, please check if you can follow along, and let's try to run it. Huh. Okay, nothing happened. It's as if nothing has happened, but actually there is. How do you know that there is? No, let's try to click the upper right. On the upper right, click the arrow button, no, the one that has vertical bar and left arrow, and then look at the output. Oh, there's no output. Ayan, no. Now go to the output folder and then try to click the collapse button, the one that looks like arrow. Now you see your CSV file. What does it even mean, no? So the first thing I want to do now, since we're already time, no, 6 p.m. na siya, try to commit it. So let's try to save it first, no? Let's try to save your work. Okay? How do you know that it's already saved? Just wait for it, and then voila, you're done, no? It's already version 1, okay? So now, after saving it, I'm gonna show to you how you submit your work, okay? So how do you do it? Go to click the open version, okay? I hope you can follow along. Click the open version of your this one. After saving it, go to open version and wait for the internet to to work. Okay. Okay. Wait for the open version, and yeah, magic, it's done, no? And then what we do now? Oh no! Oh wait, one more thing, no? It looks bad, no? Let's keep it. Let's give it a good name. Why is it that we don't have a good name? Okay, let's call it Titanic First Solution or Solution. Our Titanic Solution. Ayan. Di ba? It looks professional. Joke. Ayan. So let's try to save it again. Again, whenever you press commit, no? It's like going in a relationship, no? When you say commit, it's already saved, no? But the difference of save and commit, no? When you press commit, no? It is forever. It's already a forever commitment. So it won't get lost in the history. Yan. Okay, so now we were able to save it. Let's open the version again. Exit this one. Ayan. So, let's open it again. Aha! Yeah, now it's a better name, no? Our Titanic solution. Okay, so how do you submit? First things first, try to scroll down and you would see the output files. Okay, can you see it? Are you able? Are you following along?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the next thing you want to do is submit the competition. Huh. Submit the competition. And then that's it. If you're able to click the submit competition, wait for the, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Behind two others. So there's two more people who's sending their work, no? Okay. Try to submit your work also, no? Or maybe it's this is also Chin and Juliana. That's why it's behind two others. Ayan na. Initializing, no? We just need to wait for it. I think this is gonna be fast. And any questions so far while waiting?
None, sir.
Are you sure? Were you able to submit also?
No, sir.
So sad la. Where are you stuck? Or are you still, were you not able to use a laptop?
I I was able to use, sir.
Oh, where are you na? You wanna see it? Ay, nako. Tsaka, Chin, you don't have to call me sir, no? I'm not your prof. Ay, nako. I'm not your prof. So why, I'm not even grading you. You can call me Tony la.
Gusto nila eh. Kasi they want to show the respect to you.
Ay, Diyos ko.
You're older than them.
Oh my God la. Okay. Where are you, Chin? You want to share screen? It might take a while. It might take a while. And grab a coffee and refresh later to see your score. Any questions? Chin and Juliana. Chin and Juliana. Any questions?
Sir, yung
Hello.
score,
Sir, sorry, one by one. Yes. Sige. Who's gonna start? Game. Chin muna. Sige, then let's go to Juliana. Okay, what is it?
sir, yung score,
Okay.
what will it show?
That's what I'm also waiting eh.
Okay.
Ayan. Failed. Column was not expected. Okay. I think I know the problem. There's a problem in
Line 1.
line 1, column 1. The problem here is this, no? So we need to put something called set index. No? And then let's call it passenger ID. Okay. Ayan. Ayan, that's it. That's the correct one. Again, it's the same. It's the same submission that file, no? So it's the same name. So yeah, let's try to submit predictions again. So commit. Ayan. Ayan. How about sige, while waiting for this one, yes, so to answer your question, what am I waiting for this? What are we expecting? No, I also don't know. I'm checking. Why is it looks like this? Huh. Let's try it again. How about yes? Any more questions? How about Juliana? Do you have question? Why does it look like this? No, I can see the question. Because it's still committing. It's still committing. I'm sorry. It's not yet done. The internet is so slow. How about
Sir, ano yung
yeah,
difference?
difference? This one? This one? This one? This one?
Yes, sir. Yung may 55.
Okay. This one is more on the changes, no? The changes that you've done in your work, no? That's the idea of difference. So for example, this one, I added one line, but I also reduced one line. That's the idea.
Oh,
Because,
okay.
yeah. It's so slow, huh? So slow, huh? That's weird. So I'm gonna try to cancel it. Why is it so slow? Let's try to do it. So impatient. Ayan. Let's try it again. Ayan. So version 3 is not working properly. You know, it's weird, no? 11,414 seconds. Anyway, so let's check if I can submit one. It's not yet done. This is so sad. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna change it a little bit. Submissions 2. Ayan. So that it would be different. And then try to run all. Ayan. I don't know. I'm just guessing not to make it work. So I would notice I would have two outputs now, submission and submissions 2. No? This is the old one, the submission. The new one is submissions 2. So let's try to commit it again. So hopefully it would work now. on this new version on so that I would force it to work, force the changes to. So any questions while waiting?
None, sir.
So in case that doesn't work, no, there's another way to submit, no. So I'm gonna download it. This is already the forced way. Download it and then go to this page and then submit prediction. And then try to upload it. Okay, so now I'm uploading it. Ayan. Fix the format. Ayan. Ayan. So make submission. Oh, no, this is the old one. Huh? Fix the format. Oh, you have 10 submissions remaining. Let's check. Ayan. So let's check. Make submission. Ayan. Your most recent submission. Ayan, it's done. Submission to submission score is 0.76555. Wow, that's good. No? Amazing. Ayan. So with that, I was able to have a good, given this, just by using a gender as a way to predict, no, I was able to get a score of 76 out of 100. All right. Yeah. Congratulations. That's it. So that's it for today.
Get, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Any questions so far?
Sir, in Kaggle, there are a lot of competitions like that now we can join and
Yes.
try.
Yep.
Okay, sir.
Yep.
Noted, sir.
Okay. So, how about Juliana? Any questions?
In the some mates where you can find the file to
Sorry, where did you
upload.
upload? How did you upload? How did I upload? So if I go to compete again, diba, I go to Titanic Dataset, diba? And then what I've done is, again, I'm trying to, where's my annotator? Let's use my highlighter, you know, this one, diba? I created the CSV file. I'm highlighting it now. You know, it's submissions to .csv. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is click this one, submissions to dot. I'm gonna download it, so it would download now in my directory, in my laptop. And then if I go now to Titanic Machine Learning Disaster, I'm gonna click the submit prediction, and then here I would try to upload it. Click that one, and then upload it. So and after uploading it, yeah, that's it. That's what I did.
Oh.
Yeah, so yeah, you can create your own submission on my third submission. Ayan, my third submission of the day. Ayan. And then make submission. And from here on, ayan. So now, oh, magic, no? I just uploaded submissions to SSV. Oh, no, it's the same accuracy. I thought it went up. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that's it for today. If you have more questions, just let me know. And on Thursday, we're gonna make it more complicated. So given this one, this is the simplest solution that we have. Let's now try to include some machine learning algorithms on how we can improve the accuracy.